Welcome to Seven River Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, I look into sports, into wellness, into fitness, introduce you to some celebrities throughout the Cooley region. Well, this week, we're going to step back, and we are going to catch up with two of Logan's finest, graduated from La Crosse Logan, now at UW-L. We're going to catch up with a brother and sister duo, Chris Ganrude, Kaitlyn Ganrude. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second time you've been on.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't choose just anybody. We choose people with some special qualities, including leadership, and you both have. Let's go back first quickly to your high school days. You both took advantage of your high school years. You got involved. You seized the day. You have no regrets when you look back at what you did in high school because you really got everything out of it, didn't you, Chris?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with cross country and track. Just getting out there every day with the team is what I enjoyed doing a lot, and especially with Midnight League there too. That was pretty fun and enjoyable there. And then also
Midnight League at the Boys and Girls Club is what he's talking about. But you took advantage of the athletic opportunities, but you also were an academic standout, and you put that first, which launched you into college. You didn't choose the easy subjects. You took the path many do not take, didn't you?
Yeah, I tried to take as many AP classes as possible, although the AP tests didn't go as well as I would have liked them to go, so I could get college credit eventually, but I still tried my best in each one of those classes.
And Kaitlyn, you followed the same lead, which is a reflection of the expectations your parents have, but you took difficult classes, you challenged yourself, both as a student and as an athlete.
Yeah, and I'm very glad I did that because it set me up to be who I am today and just keep on pushing myself and striving for whatever goals I have, whether they be academic or athletic. And from high school and my experiences there, I know I can reach whatever I set out for. That's
outstanding. Well, I know that looking back at the record books, you to this day have the school record in the pole vault.
Yeah.
Which is quite an accomplishment. I see your name on the wall when I'm in the corridor by the gymnasium. You are state qualifier in the pole vault, in the long jump, and in the triple jump. And you just you helped the Logan High School Ranger girls to 3 state track and field championships. I mean, you really accomplished a great deal.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and also a lot of work. I didn't start out as a outstanding athlete. When I was a freshman, I wasn't very good at vault or long jump. I hadn't even started triple jump, and neither of those years, I think I made it to regionals maybe, and I just kept working from there. And I think the next couple years I made it to sectionals. Junior year I made it to state in long jump, and then senior year in long jump, pole vault, and triple jump. And it was just a great feeling to know that all of my hard work did pay off.
It did, and I talked to your former coach, Tom Kammer, who's an icon in cross country and track and field, and also coaches soccer and is a tremendous teacher. He said you were self-motivated, that you led by example with your work habits. Is that something that you just came natural to you?
I think so, for the most part. A lot of that also came from gymnastics. I had been in gymnastics since I was about 7 years old, and a lot of what I did there had to come from self-motivation, so I think it transferred over to my track and field days.
Well, you took your cue from your older brother, who, now listen to this, as a high school athlete at Logan, went to the state meet in cross country 4 straight years, freshman through senior. In 2013, individual champ in the MVC cross country, and a track and field half miler and miler, one of the elite runners in the MVC all 4 years, and one of the most elite runners in the area and perhaps the state.
Yeah, I'd like to attribute that to my coaching and then especially my teammates just getting me through every day. We had 70-plus miles weekly for that, so it was a lot of hard work going into that, and I think it paid off for the most part in racing.
Well, your coach, who happens to be a friend of mine too, Pat Maroney,
Yep.
Who I visited with just recently, shared with me that you always were ready to give it all. You did not have to be encouraged, pushed, didn't need any of that. When you showed up to the track, when you showed up to your cross-country workouts, whatever it was, you didn't need anybody to motivate you. You just took off.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I think I told you earlier, the best motivator is me because I'm always going against myself. I'm my best opponent. I'm always trying to be better than I was before, the day before that, and just getting out there and doing what I can is what I strive to do.
No, those kinds of characteristics are unusual, and they really are the basis, the foundation of your success, both of you in the classroom and on the field. Very unusual. And what do you attribute that to, though? Is that, I mean, I know your parents, like I do, or our friends, is that, who are friends of mine, is that what they have, is that how you were raised?
Yeah, I definitely attribute that to my parents. They grew up teaching me just how to be selfless and humble about everything that I do, but to keep pushing myself to be better.
And obviously, that's part of how you grew up too, certainly in the same household. But did you need a little bit more encouragement?
I don't think so, but like he said, I attribute it to my parents and also to him. And just having great teammates and friends and coaches and teachers, everyone in my life has helped me to be where I am.
Let's talk about your transition from high school to college. How difficult was that for you, Kaitlyn?
I was very excited to go from high school to college, and I didn't see it as a big difficulty. Academics are a lot harder, but you meet a lot of great people there, and if you surround yourself with like the right people, you can, it's just a blast to be there.
But to a lot of people, the transition into a new chapter of their life is challenging because of the more stringent requirements at the competitive level, at the academic level, having to find new friends. It's some people struggle with that.
Yeah, I think what really helped me is being on the track team, because right away you're surrounded with this great group of girls who everyone's so nice to each other, and you just automatically have all of these friends who are so supportive of you in track and in academics. If you need any help, like, they are there for you. And also the coaches as well, like, they are there to help you whenever you need it.
And Chris, was there any aha moments? I mean, you're a little bit more quiet and shy than your sister, and you have that sort of personality, although you've blossomed a little bit now. But any aha moments like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into?
Well, especially transitioning over to Iowa State from high school, not knowing anybody there besides one of my friends that ended up going there, just trying to get with or make a lot of friends there on my own, which was a little bit nerve-wracking at first, and moving in with complete strangers I didn't know. It was kind of hard to get used to, but eventually I got used to it. Eventually it's just turned into me wanting to come back home, just so I knew people around the area.
Well, you both seem to be pretty attached to your families, and you're more homebodies than somebody that's going to be adventurous and go and leave the nest and go all over the country or world. That's not you, is it?
No, not really. We've grown up next to family all our lives, so it's been kind of a tight-knit thing for us. We grew up a mile away from our cousins, which we did everything with since we were young, and our grandma lives right around the corner, so.
Yep.
and grandma keeps an eye on you too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, knowing your family, though, like I do, not just your immediate family, but your distant family, and everyone seems to be in support of everyone else, not just you two. I mean, so the culture is pretty special.
Yeah, it is really great. everyone cares about everyone and watch out for each other. And like if you need to talk to anyone, like they're all there for you.
I got your back.
Yeah.
And that's really what friends are all about. Good friends walk in the front door while others walk out the back door. Mm-hmm. But you still stay in contact, both of you, with high school friends too, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important to stay in contact with them just because like they were there for you for a big part of your life, and they still mean a lot to me, so I don't want to just forget about them and move on with friends I've met in college. Like, I still really care about them.
Good. And Chris, I know you still communicate with, I know a lot of your friends from high school, and they're still an important part of your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, well I even live with some of them still, but they don't go to the same college as me. But I mean, I still keep in contact with Kyle Colburn and Henry Meager. They go to Madison there.
Of course.
So yeah.
Know both of them real well.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, we're going to step aside for a moment, and then we'll be right back and talk more with Chris and Kaitlyn Ganrude right after this.
After 80 years in our beautiful area, it's easy to find a home that's kept comfortable by Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. To say thank you, we're celebrating our 80th anniversary in style.
When you install a new Carrier residential air conditioner now until June 27th from our La Crosse or Winona locations, get 50% of your purchase back if there's a new record high temp on July 4th. Call now for complete details.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again today, our guests, we're catching up with Chris and Kaitlyn Ganrude, former Logan Stars and now UWL track and field stars. Biggest transition, we talked about academics, having to put in a lot more time. Biggest transition from high school sports to college?
I would say just the amount of time that you put into it with the whole team. It's basically year-round sport. In the summers, we have a lifting program that goes from July to August, and then we're lifting the whole rest of the year. We get the month of June off. We don't have any written workouts for the summer, but they expect us to do some type of cardio workouts. And then we start conditioning in the fall, and actual practices start at the end of October. So, and we're practicing through the rest of the school year, so it's just a very long season.
Well, and knowing Chris like I do, and being, by the way, on the Dean's list at UWL, also, I know your running patterns because I've seen you run past me, unfortunately, on the running trails, but I know you've always been a dedicated runner year-round. Mm-hmm. Even seeing you in the month of February or March without a shirt on running down Losey Boulevard, like, whoa, there's a warrior for it.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit since then. Now, since I'm doing the decathlon at UWL, I don't train long distance as much as I used to, since I have to train for the other 9 events that come with it. So there's a lot of other time that I have to put into different events.
Well, this is what's really interesting. This is so impressive. When I think of decathlon athletes, I think of the very first one of notoriety, and that was 1912 when Jim Thorpe was the very first famous decathlon. And then in recent years, Ashton Eaton, University of Oregon in the Olympics. But for those that don't know, there are 10 events in the decathlon, and people usually 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and sculptured athlete, and you are, but you're really not to that level. Yet you compete in 4 runs, 3 jumps, 3 throws. I mean, and people, it's common knowledge that decathloners are the best athletes in the world.
I wouldn't consider myself one of the best athletes in the world, but I like to get out and experience new things, and this is definitely allowing me that chance with all the 10 events that we have to practice for, and then getting out and competing in those is definitely a different experience than just running a 5K or doing a 2-mile on the track.
Well, when you look at the events, and you might want to just quickly share the events and tell our viewers which ones you struggle with and which ones are your best.
I'll go through the list. It starts with the 100-meter dash, then it goes to long jump, then we have shot put, then high jump, and then 400 dash, and then that transitions over to the next day where we start with the 110 hurdles, then we go to jav, then it's pole vault, and then 1500 after that. The ones I struggle with the most are probably 110 hurdles, just because I'm not the tallest guy out there, and I'm not exactly the quickest guy either with my distance running background.
But did the viewers are probably thinking, you got to be kidding me? This Chris Ganrude is rather slight, meaning you're not as we described a prototype build. I mean you're strong and healthy and so on, but whoa, I mean that just says a lot about who you are, how determined you are, how you persevere. I mean that is incredible.
Yeah, as I said before, I like to challenge myself to different things, and being in cross country and track and field long distance wise, it was fun for me, but it was the same things every day, so I wanted to get out and do different things with that. And then also the new team is a lot of fun.
Test yourself.
Yes.
Test yourself. I've met the enemy, and the enemy is within.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's you?
Yep, that is me. Yeah, I push myself every day in practice, and I hope to get PRs at actually every single meet that I've competed in so far.
That's incredible. Well, by the way, your sister doesn't take a backseat to you. No, because she is as exceptional as an athlete at UWL as you are. And talk about your strengths and what events you're in.
So I do pole vault, long jump, and javelin. And right now my biggest strength is actually javelin, I would say. That's where I'm highest ranked in the conference anyways, which is kind of come as a surprise to me just because I haven't done it before, since last year. But it's a lot of fun. Then I would say pole vault. I've been doing that since freshman year of high school, and I think I've improved a lot since I began.
Well, because of your determination. Here's what your coach Wagner, Katie Wagner, who's a friend of mine at UW, here's what she said about you. You embrace the challenge that comes with competing at a high level. You have positive energy to the team, which you also did at La Crosse Logan. And you're part of a talented pole vault team, and you push each other each and every day.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yes, I would definitely say so, or I'd like to think so anyways. Our pole vault team that we have right now is really great. We have 4 sophomores, no juniors or seniors, and then we have a freshman, and we all just really embrace the challenge and push each other to do better every day.
Okay, what are we going to see the rest of the season into the Nationals at the end of May, early June?
I am not sure that I would qualify for Nationals this year.
How about the rest of the conference meets? What's your goals?
My goal is to place in conference in javelin and pole vault.
And Mr. Decathlete, what are we going to see from you?
I hope to at least score some points for my team. Obviously, I'm not the biggest build or the strongest guy out there in the decathlon, but I hope to score some points, either getting like 7th or 8th in the decathlon.
Well, I run a lot of road races, and I'm in the Clydesdale section, so I don't run as fast. But you remind me of a sign that I saw recently in the half marathon in Green Bay, and it said, "In your mind, you're a Kenyan." In your mind, you're a decathlete. In your mind, you're Jim Thorpe.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. I guess I could think that way. That would definitely push myself to do as well as I can, and I am doing it for the team, though. The team aspect is definitely important there.
Kaitlyn, you're a deep person. Just knowing you from your high school years, your years at the club, you have a interesting philosophy of life. You have an interesting aspect on leadership.
Yeah. So my philosophy on life, I think, it's very broad, but if I were just to condense it, I would say just to show kindness to everyone and always try to have a positive attitude, because, you get one life to live, and I don't plan to spend it being angry or sad or mopey, and I want to just lift everyone else up as well.
How do you display kindness on a daily basis?
Just trying to, I guess, smile and say hi to anyone you know, hold doors open for people, encourage people, and
So there's a quote that says, my job in this earth is to pick others up, push others to excellence. Is that you?
yeah, I really like that quote, actually. I really like the feeling that I get when you can see that you have impacted a person in a positive way.
Here's when I think when I see you, when I think of you, I also think of this quote. My days are better when I give someone a bit of my heart rather than a piece of my mind.
Yes, I love that quote as well. Instead of, I don't know, telling someone whatever you think or telling them they're wrong about something or just arguing with anyone, like, feel for them, try and feel how they're thinking, like, put yourself in their shoes and care about them.
Here's a quote that describes both of you. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. That's you, in a nutshell. Isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I would say so.
In school and in athletics and in life.
Yeah, I could definitely attribute that to my senior year in cross country. Talent was definitely there. I guess I could have pushed myself more that year. It was just me getting maybe a little bit tired of doing the same thing over and over again, where I could have put more work in and I could have been a better athlete than I was.
You both said this, and in a subtle way, and this describes you too. And I know, Kaitlyn, you read a lot of the same books that I do on racing and the mental as to the physical and so on. And in a famous book that I have read too, The Art of Racing, to live every day as if it was stolen from death. That is how I want to live.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite quotes from the book, The Art of Racing in the Rain. Like, live to the fullest, do whatever you can each day to make it worthwhile. Like, you have one life, live it up.
Chris, if tomorrow wasn't promised, which it isn't, as we know, what would you give and live for today? What would you represent today? What would you do today? What would you do?
If tomorrow wasn't promised, which is not for everyone, I'd just try to make the best of today, do what I can today to help others and become the best person that I could be.
And when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, you both sort of feel that, don't you? Do you ever like, I didn't have a very good day?
Every once in a while, yeah. There's those days that I'm kind of down on myself, and it gets hard on myself, especially with all the stress that builds up from track and school work that I have to do. But usually every night I ask myself, if I died today, would I be happy with what I did on this earth? And I try to look at the positives.
Yes. And as we close the show, Kaitlyn, unlike a lot of people in the world, you're comfortable in your own skin, aren't you?
Yes, of course. I think that's very important, to be comfortable with yourself and be positive and just use your voice, be who you are. Like,
well, I would bet our viewers are as impressed with you two. And of course, I've known this before a lot of viewers did, because friends of the family, I know what you're all about. But it's a pleasure to have two people that are wise beyond their years, from Logan to UWL to Seven River Sports. But it's just a pleasure to have you, and I'm sure our viewers feel the same way. So you're extraordinary young people. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back with some closing thoughts and some film clips on recent baseball right after this.
After 80 years in our beautiful area, it's easy to find a home that's kept comfortable by Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. To say thank you, we're celebrating our 80th anniversary in style.
When you install a new Carrier residential air conditioner now until June 27th from our La Crosse or Winona locations, get 50% of your purchase back if there's a new record high temp on July 4th. Call now for complete details.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Well, our cameras were at Luther High School in Onalaska on Monday for a Cooley Conference matchup as the Westby Norsemen would be in town. Westby jumped ahead early in the first inning, taking a 2-0 lead. Then the Knights finally got their offense in gear, scoring 4 runs in the third and then 5 more in the fourth, cruising to a 9-2 win. Alex Strangman picked up the win, limiting Westby to 7 hits and 2 runs. Carter Bergdahl took the loss. Westby was led by Alex Muir with 2 hits, Eric Peterson and Connor Olson, each with doubles. Austin Schomburg, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Dylan Protzman, 3 for 3 and 3 RBIs for the Luther Knights. Westby drops to 3-15, while the Knights improve to 4-15. Both teams set to start the postseason tournament action next Tuesday. Well, next week, Andy and Nathan Bonasic from Prairie du Chien will be my guests. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an active and a healthy Memorial Day weekend. See you next week here on 7 Rivers.